Well, hello there, Minecrafters! This is Xenon Cross here, bringing you right back to Sky Factory 2. And man, flying around like this is really hard. So, it's been a little bit since I've actually brought you back to any of the Sky Factory goings-ons, and that's because I've been doing a lot of work so that you guys don't have to watch me sit here and do the same thing 12 times in a row. For instance, I was able to expand the island to now have 4 blocks. That block is actually still getting bigger because I haven't finished it yet. So, if you remember, we had this little block created, and it's going to be our little base. And over here, I put a little chunk loader so that it'll keep things loaded because we're actually too far from that one. And then I built the ME system from Applied Energistics 2. Now, the reason I did this off camera, oh man, we're running out of power. And the reason I did this off camera is because it takes forever to actually achieve, like really long. I actually have to go, oh, I have it in my inventory. Hook it up that way and it should be alright. Yep, should be outputting power. There we go. Solar panels are a little slow when I let it AFK because when it gets night, the solar panels die out. Day 3,901? Wow, that's a long time. But anyway, the ME system basically lets me store all of my items in these things called drives. These drives all store 63 different types of items, but different amounts of items. For instance, this will only store 1,024 bytes. This will store 4,096 bytes, and each item is approximately 1 byte, so you can kind of guesstimate how many items I have, because a lot of these things are actually pretty much full, and you can see them all right here. These are all the items that I have, and I have them sorted by number, so I have the most of Certus Quartz crystals, and I have the least of things that say craft. Now, these things that say craft, I believe it or not, I can tell it to craft them, and it will go, and it will make them. And you're just like, what? Yes, this thing is an auto-crafting machine. See this guy? His name is Bob. He is my crafting computer. He is capable of actually building anything I want. Now, to a certain extent, he is actually a very, very small crafting computer, so he can't build everything, but for our needs, he sure can build anything. For instance, he can build us redstone reception coils. He can build us Tyrian, the mirrors for the solar panels. He can build the 1K ME storage components, printed silicon, laboratory block, ME export bus, and ME import buses, and a bunch of other things that you can't see because I actually have enough crafted. Like he can make the solar panel tubes. He can make a lot of stuff. And that's because of this thing called the molecular assembler, which is the auto crafter. Basically, you feed it items, tell it how to craft using patterns like these, and it will create them. Now, these things, called ME interfaces, when I hook them up to an item that can do things like auto-craft, it will then tell my system that, hey, I can craft this, and it tells it how to do it. For instance, this tells you how to craft a formation core with 1 logic processor, 1 fluix dust, and 1 pure Certus Quartz crystal. We actually want to change that. That's wrong. So what we do, can I change them in here? Ooh. Can I change that to be normal Certus? Yeah, because see, I don't want that. I want normal Certus. Okay, it appears I'll need to make something to actually change it, but for now I'm just going to make a new one and just dump this in here because that's actually broken. That's actually going to waste my good items, and we don't want that. So obviously I have to watch out when I'm making stuff because I'm not paying any attention. But anyway, so this thing will store a lot of energy. It'll actually store 800,000 RF, along with this storing 1 million. Now, of course, it'll take forever to fill up. That's why I put this thing down to give it a boost. Where's my crescent hammer? There it is. And bam. Moving over here. Remember the inscribers? Yeah, I have them all hooked up over here now. Actually, I probably should hook them to power because they're not going to work anymore without power. Solar panels. Give me the 2 of those. Yep. Yeah. That's you can search in here just like that. Kind of annoying sometimes, but not always. So these things are the inscribers. I have them all set up going, and I believe some of them are working, some of them are not. It works all the way up to this guy, and then it doesn't work. Yeah. So it works all the way up to the 4th one, and then the 5th one will not work because I am missing channels. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment, because that's what we're going to do today. First, I'm going to hook this back up to power, though. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do it. Because, see, I need two more inscribers. This one's going to make logic processors. This one will make engineering circuits. Then we'll have space. Then we'll have this one making calculation circuits, space, and then we'll have one making, I think that's, engineering processors. So we do need an extra 4. So power, actually we can put the power cell down here in the far corner, and then hook it up to power. Like so. We now have power to all of our devices, and then we can actually just line the back with solar panels if we wanted. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. And it'll be a self-feeding circuit, so its back will be blue, so it can accept from the back. So anything that the solar panels produce will go into the circuit, will go into the hardened energy cell when these things aren't drawing power, which actually should be very soon, because these things... Nope, wrong one. Bam. These things should be generating 16 RF per tick, which they are. It's not picking up yet, probably because these things are filling. Some of them might actually have things to do. Who knows? They do not. Alright. Weird. It takes the solar panels a long time to actually start doing stuff, which is always weird. So over here, I've also started a mini farm because I'm going to need a lot of wool for my current operation. But first, I'm going to need to breed all of these animals. Nope, there it is. Somewhere over here I have a lot of wheat. Here it is. Should be enough. Just take it over here. Nope, we are not actually about to die because I saved myself. But it's nice that it was thinking about me. So first we want to breed the sheep, then breed the cows. We actually can't breed him because we need carrots, but we also need a second pig. Ooh, repopulation, woo, achievement. Alright, so we'll put the rest of that back into the ME system. You can do it just like so, going into actually any of my panels and shift clicking or dragging it in. So we'll just dump everything I don't need real quick right in there, and it'll hold everything. There isn't anything it can't hold. For instance, it could hold this bag, but I'm going to empty that bag first, because, of course, 2 compasses. We're actually just going to throw these off the edge, because they're so useless. Thank you. Thank you, game. Thank you. Now, we need to make more we have a crap ton of torches. Never mind. We actually want the ME cable. And now, I believe we have shear... That is not how you spell shears. There we go. Yep. Stop typing. So we need to shear the sheep. Shear the sheep. Oh, we only got 3 wool for that. Oh well, I have some left over. Alright, because what we need to make right now is we need to make a covered cable. Now that's why this was in there. Alright, now the crafting terminal is actually something really cool, because watch this. I'm going to make the ME covered cable, which is just ME glass cable and lime wool. I can shift click in here just like it's a normal crafting table. Now if it was in my inventory, it would just be the same and I would just draw it out. But notice how there's nothing coming out of my inventory. It's actually coming out of the terminal itself. Anything you place in here, for instance, if I wanted to craft, yeah, nothing's really exactly craftable. I'll just let me craft the max amount of those and then put that away. Say I wanted to craft stone bricks. So I went like that. I can actually draw from the amount of stone that's actually inside the system instead of having to have them all into the crafting table, so I don't have to grab 64 stacks at a time and maneuver them through and about to build this stupid stuff. So now we're working on something called dense cable. We're trying to build this, which I believe we can make just two pieces of, which is sad. Alright, so ME dense cable. The reason I need to make a lot of this, I'm going to actually have to sleep here, or else the solar panels are going to quit on me again. The reason I need to make the dense cable instead of just using glass cable all over the place is because the dense cable can carry 32 channels. Now there's a little device underneath my base here, go in hover mode, this guy, called the ME controller. The ME controller is what actually controls the entire network, the entire computer network. Here is our brain, basically. The brain can output 32 channels on each side of the system. And the problem with the ME glass cable is it can only hold 8 of those channels. And every device that's on the system that draws more than power, that actually takes information, I guess you would say, that carries information like this thing, these panels, not these don't count. This guy, actually it's not even this guy, he's not even connected, it would be the interfaces, and those guys, the interfaces again on them. They all require channels. So as we see here, we actually have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you see why it runs out, because it's out of the 8 channels. Just the basic math says it's just completely out. So what I need is I actually just need another 8 channels over here to get that going again. But the problem is the ME controller is all the way over here, and I can't get those 32 channels all the way over there with this glass cable, so I need to make the dense cable. So that's obviously a problem. But it's alright, because I'm going to eventually make a lot of the dense cable, but for now, we're having a bit of a problem. As you note, it actually does change color when they start to fill up. When they're orange, that means they've either run out of space of bytes, or they can't store any more types. For instance, this one can't store any more types, but can store a bit more items, so that's why it's orange in the bottom left there. This one is green because it's almost empty in its entirety. So obviously, each cell type, storage cell, has its advantage, because obviously the small ones are good at storing a lot of different types of items in small amounts, while the bigger ones, like the 64K, is way better at storing smaller amounts, smaller types of items, like less types, like mostly cobblestone, but large amounts, which is obviously what you want them for. So obviously, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually trying to craft more of these guys, because I'm actually running out of storage space. So to make more 4K things, because I'm trying to teach the system how to auto-craft it. So I want 4 MKE storage components, so I need to put that into a pattern, which isn't hard, because I literally just grab it like this, and as long as I have the parts, it'll go in. Problem is I don't have the 1K parts. So what we do is we come up to the, actually don't even have to go to the graphics terminal, just to the normal terminal, 1K. Notice that we don't have any. I want 3 of them next, and now it tells me I'm missing logic processors. So obviously I have to make logic processors, so I'd type in logic. Now you notice I only have 2, but I need 3. I can make printed logic circuits, but I can't actually make the stuff yet because of the problem over there. So obviously we need to craft some silicon. We're going to craft, I believe there are 6 left, so we're going to craft 6 of those and hit start. And now because the inscriber is slow, it doesn't happen very fast. It actually has nothing to do with the fact that the computer is slow. It's just that, see, they will get here. It's just that the inscriber is really slow. So the silicon's working right there. Next, we just need to grab ourselves some redstone, like so. Grab those logic processors, printed circuits, and grab the silicon circuits. 4, 5, molten silver bucket, we still have that, and 6. We now have the 6 circuits. And now actually, on the side of this guy here, see that crafting monitor? This would tell us what it's crafting, or you can right click. See? Bob. That is Bob, the crafting CPU. Ooh, I'm in hover mode. Forgot about that. So we're going to take this one. We're going to take this out, and we're going to craft real quick. Now we should see this automatically go into this, be imported right into the system. Yep, right there. Just do this real quick. Shouldn't take too long. Now sadly you can only insert 1 item at a time into the inscriber, which also is what makes it really slow. Because as you can see, I can click all I want and nothing happens. Alright, last one. And put that back. And then just come back over here. and tell it to craft those 1K components again. Just 3 of them. Next. Start. And now it'll pick the first CPU that can do it, in this case Bob, because he's the only CPU that can do it, and it'll start crafting. Now the 4K thing, we need to come back down to the pattern terminal. 4K ME, hit that again. Now what we're still missing is we're missing the calculation processors. So first we need some calculation. Oh, we have one. We need more silicon. Craft a bunch of these. We're actually going to craft 10 of those. Start. And we're just going to grab one when it comes out. There it is. And then we have the redstone, and we're going to go get the work. And now eventually I'll have the system auto-crafting these circuits so that it'll know how to craft circuits eventually, but until then, I have to do it by hand right now. Alright, so calculation processor, put that in there, and code, clear. It can now craft the 4 MKE storage components, just like that. But the problem is, if I tell it to craft them right now, it's going to tell me I can only craft one because I only have one calculation processor available. Although one of my computers is still at work, I only have one computer available. There it is, now it's available. So it should get to crafting, and it actually probably happened really fast there. It did. So now we want to teach it how to craft these, which I believe I have all the components for. So if I just come down to click this and then shift click that into the pattern terminal, I can teach it how to craft it. And bam, it knows how to craft the 4K pattern. And then always, just to make sure, you can just come in here, 4K, there it is to craft. And then when you hit next and start, it happens. There he is. Bam, we just got a free one. There, we now have another storage component within our ME drive system. It has now been expanded by 4,000 items, better than having millions of chests, right? Which is actually better for the mob farm, because the mob farm produces a crazy amount of items really fast, which can be a pain. So obviously, I just have to wait until the sheep keep regrowing their wool, which doesn't take too long, and then just keep shearing them off. Just like so. Hopefully I get more than one at a time. Oh, we now have 3 sheep. Now, let me go get the wheat. Maybe I can grow them some more. The wheat. Oh wow, we have a lot of wheat in the system. Nope, that didn't pick up right. Nope. It always helps to sprint when you're jetpack. It makes you move much faster. Yep, we can grow. Repopulate. Make babies, my cows and sheep. Alright, so that's working on that. We can actually put this away. And now I'm crafting the ME dense cable by hand because I don't actually have a lot of space, as you saw. To craft, for crafting stuff, because I need a bunch of these ME interfaces, and they all take up channels. And right now I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm actually using up 8 channels right now. So if I add one more even, I won't even have enough space to do it. Which is really weird to think about. Do I even have another interface? I probably do. So watch what happens when I go and hook up this. I mean, I might have enough channels, but I'm very sure I do not. So, cable. We're just going to use a glass cable. And bam. Now something probably isn't running anymore. Right there. See how this import bus is now no longer working because we're out of channels. So it will no longer import from my ender chest. If you guys don't know how an ender chest works, basically anything I put inside this chest will appear at the other ender chest. And I believe the other ender chest is down here. Real quick. Yeah, right here. So basically what I have this doing is I have it sieving, but I don't have it powered at the moment. Alright, when it sieves, basically it creates a lot of items. The items then get dumped into the chest, which then get imported to this chest, the ender chest. The ender chest then is in sync with that ender chest over there, so that that ender chest can then draw it into the ME system, so that I have it all conveniently in one place without having to have pipes everywhere and having things be weird. So now, I mean, as you can see, I have yet another, what is this, 8 slots, 9 slots? Yeah, 9 slots. I have another 9 slots for 9 more crafting items, but I can't import from my ender chest. So obviously that is a problem that we can't have, because I need to import from that ender chest when I actually hook things back up. So, kind of going to have to live with what the crafting I have right now. Eventually, I'll have an entire section just dedicated to a bunch of these things just set up in a room. Because obviously having only one very limits my crafting capabilities, because this thing can only craft so much at one time. So if I try to craft too much, eventually this will get overloaded and it'll just be really slow. I don't think these guys are this fast. No. No, but they are growing wool pretty fast, which is really cool for me. He's not, though. And just to show you how it's going to work, if I hook this into the wool, you'll notice that the import bus starts importing it immediately, and we end up with the 5 wool. And now we'll continue crafting the covered cable, and then craft some more dense cable. That was 3 more, I think, so if I type in dense, I have now 5 dense cable. Now it's going to take a lot to make it over here, so I'm obviously going to be here a while until eventually I'll set up something called a rancher, which will automatically do all the work for me here. I hope it can do all the work for me here automatically, because it would actually shear the sheep, it would milk the cows, it would do a lot of stuff for me, which is really cool. So, I mean, I hope you guys like this pattern. I tried really hard to make this pattern. I mean, if you don't like it, leave a comment or something, tell me to change it. Perhaps give me some examples, because I'm not a very good builder. I just kind of like how that's looking. Eventually, that'll all be black Tyrian around it as well. So, eventually, everything's going to be black around it. This actually has to go more. Eventually, I'm also going to have the ultimate furnace hooked up to this so that this thing can cook stuff really fast. But until then, so Tyrian. We need to craft a bunch of Tyrian. So we want to craft, I believe it crafts an 8, so we want to craft 64. Next, to craft 64, we need 64 stone. We need 64 stone and 8 iron. And it says they're available, so we hit start and it goes. And as you can see over there, the picture is going, and bam, we now have 64 Tyrian. We now pick our chisel. Chisel. We actually can make something called an auto chisel, but I'm not going to worry about it because it's not really that important. Grab the chisel. Put this into black armor tiles, I think. I believe that's what we're using. I am not actually 100% sure. I think so. Oh yeah, we're using tiles. Let's try and get at least the base done. We might actually make it, because I believe this is a 22 by 20, 23 by 23. Oops. If I don't do that, we'll make it. Bam. Then connect this to it. Make it look like I've done a bunch of work. They're connected, and then I have 7 Tyrian left over for whatever. I'll actually start doing this one next. 4. Yeah, it's starting to build up now. It's weird how that works. Actually, I can recollect the angel block and replace it with some, but I kind of like it there. Alright, so I guess one last go. We're going to go and shear the sheep and see if we can grow them once more. Because we can now finally grow them in constant pairs if they'll want to. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, we can grow them in pairs. Now the cows are taking longer to grow up. We can also add to my 5,366 experience that I have no idea how I got. Quite confused about that, actually. Not sure where it came from. Not sure what to do with it either, because not like there's a lot to do with it. Probably can dump it into one of my tanks. That's probably... Ooh, you know what I can do? Last thing we're going to do is we're going to make diamond spikes. Because I can afford it by now. Diamond spikes. And the reason is because this will allow those mobs to drop. Alright, so we need 3 diamond swords. So we need diamond. Oops. 3 diamond swords. We now need sticks. Now it's actually just easier to do it that way because that'll dump them into my inventory. Now we just need diamond block. And then I believe we need something called enchanted... Oh, we need golden spikes, which we need magical wood. Which is the problem. We need 8 enchanted books around what? Around a bookshelf. Do I have bookshelves? I'm pretty sure I do. I do not, but I have a lot of books. We now just need wood. See if we can get away with this. And then bam, craft as much as I can. We're actually out of that, so just get me out of there. No, stop. There we go. Just turn this all into wood planks. Dump it all into the system. Put 1 block there. Craft as many bookshelves as I can, which is only 2 more. Alright, so we're looking to craft magical wood. I don't know if it'll actually let me shift click that. It will not. Do I have any... I do have enchanted books. These are my fire protection books. They're behaving weird. Actually, let's not waste my fire protection 4. Use the 3 one. We need a bookshelf. And then we need gold. We have exactly 4 gold, so... Oh, 10 magical wood. You saw the recipe only said we'd get 1, right? Right? I'm not crazy there? Yeah, see, it says we only get 1. We got 10. I guess it depends on how we can transfer experience into the magical wood. That's pretty good. We now need 3... we need 4... We just need 4, so I only need 3 golden swords. But I actually need more gold, so I actually need to do this real quick, and bam! I love how fast this furnace is. So I can do some pretty cool things. Do some gold. No, actually, we're going to need to make more sticks first. Sticks. I'm actually pretty sure the system can actually craft sticks. Yes, it can. So just craft, like, start. And it'll craft the nearest number to the one you pick, because obviously sometimes you're going to pick a number that doesn't actually work. Now gold. Alright, so we need 3 swords. 1, 2, 3. Put that away. Golden spikes. Now we just need block of gold. I only need 1 block of gold, I believe. So block of gold. 3 of these things. And then the wood. Magical wood. We get the 4 spikes. These can now go away. We need these. Oops. Put the 4th away. Diamond sword, diamond sword, diamond sword, and then the diamond block. And bam. We now have diamond spikes. We can put that away. And now, the diamond spike will, I believe, give us rare drop for mobs. Mobs that need player kills to get. Are these chests getting full? Not really. And it'll allow experience to drop. Now, I believe the mob farm is on, but I'm just going to hurry up. I actually didn't bring any blocks with me, so it's going to be hard. Are there any... Oh, there's a piece of wool in here. I'm just gonna have to do it one at a time. Put the wool there. Oh, this tank's in my way. I believe if I pickaxe it, it won't break it. No. There we go. Put that there. Put that there. There we go. And now when the mob farm kills things, they'll drop experience. Although the mob farm might be off, which could be a thing. I know it's on, it's just not working. And believe me, it's not because of the hole, but we'll block up the hole just to make sure. So, actually the next step is I'm going to end up porting the lava over to there. I'm going to do that using ender tanks. And you're just like, what? Why? Because I'm going to move this magma generation over to there so that I don't have to keep sleeping. I'll do that on the next video, actually, so I won't leave you guys and then just do a bunch of stuff anymore, because I believe everything else I can do with you guys, because all of the meticulous stuff has been taken out. So, yeah, I guess that'll be all for today, guys. So, I guess I'll see you guys later.